Lucky's Superpower Story. New adventures, same rules. Hey kids! We think that safety and preparedness is always important. And even more important now as many of the activities that have been familiar to all of us are now changing. We developed a series of activity books to help you learn about safety and preparedness in a fun way, help you practice these new skills as often as you want to, and even use your imagination to think of new activities. This is book 3 in a 3-book series. Explore and learn about preparedness with puzzles, games, coloring, drawing, and educational activities that you can practice at home and in school. Remember, preparedness always matters. It is your new superpower. Check out pwporg.org for additional resources and some cool videos. Meet Lucky the Preparedness Dog, who serves as Kiernan Group Holdings' mascot. When we found Lucky in the animal shelter, he didn't even have a name, and he was pretty lonely. We were so lucky to find him, and now he has a new mission. Lucky enjoys helping kids learn, and he especially loves to help kids practice new skills. Lucky will help you learn a lot about safety and preparedness, which is super important, especially now when so many things that we know have already been changing. In Lucky's first book, he taught you about the new rules everyone should follow during the pandemic, like social distancing, hand washing, and wearing masks. In his second book, he taught you about how to follow the new rules when schools open back up. In this book, he's going to talk about how to take everything you have learned, like Lucky's superpowers, and use them when stores, restaurants, and parks open back up. The restrictions may change, but the new rules stay the same. Ava and William wake up on a beautiful Friday morning and start getting ready for their soccer game. On Fridays, their school has online learning and allows kids to log their physical education as physical learning. I am so happy that things are starting to get back to normal, says William. Ava nods her head in agreement. Well, it is not completely normal, their parents tell them. Even though things are opening back up, it does not mean the new rules go away. Do I still need to wear a mask and social distance? Asks Ava. For right now, says their dad. It does seem that way, so make sure to grab hand sanitizer and masks. After your game, we're going on a trip since next week's in-person class is only on Wednesday and Thursday. So you also need to grab your suitcases and laptops before leaving too. Dad, Ava, and William get into the car and drive to the soccer field. As they pull in, they see Lucky on the field waiting for them. Ava and William yell, "Hi, everyone!" as they run to their friends. As they are doing their warm-ups, Ava asks Lucky, "Why are only parents allowed to watch the games? That seems unfair to our friends and other family." Lucky responds, "Well, Ava, even though the lockdown has been lifted, there are still going to be restrictions for a while to help make sure the virus doesn't start to spread again. It may seem unfair now, but it is the best way to keep everyone healthy. And look, even parents have to follow the rules too." Lucky points to the bleachers, and all the parents are sitting 6 feet apart and wearing masks. After the game, Ava and William run over to where their dad is sitting, and William asks, "Can we get some ice cream since we had such a good game?" "That sounds like fun," says Dad. "Ask Lucky if he would like to come too." When arriving to the ice cream shop, they see a line that goes out of the building. "Wow," says William. The line is very long today." "It sure looks like it," Lucky replies, "but they are only letting in a few people at a time." Dad turns to look at Ava and William and says, "Put on your masks before we get out of the car." Ava and William put on their masks and go stand in line for ice cream. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream? Do you want to know a secret? Flip the book over to find out what Lucky's favorite flavor of ice cream is. After eating their ice cream, Dad looks at Ava and William and says, "Okay, kids, wash your hands before you get in the car." Ava and William walk to the restroom and go through the steps of washing their hands. "The first step is to wet our hands," says Ava. "Then, step 2 is put soap on our hands." William says, "Step 3 is scrubbing for 20 seconds. I like singing happy birthday twice." "I like singing the ABCs," says Ava. William looks at Ava and says, "Step 4 is rinse off the soap. And don't forget step 5, drying our hands with a clean towel." After they wash their hands, they find Dad and Lucky, get in the car, and drive home to get their mom. When Mom gets in the car, she turns and looks at them and says, "For our trip, we're going to go see Grandma. She hasn't been able to see anyone in a while because of the lockdown." "That's right," says Dad. "And she lives in another state, so we're going to fly to see her." They get to the airport and see hundreds of people there. Some of them are following the rules and some are not. Lucky sees that the kids are looking at someone without a mask on and says, "Whenever you are out in public, there might be people who do not follow all of the new rules. But if you use your super attention to be aware of the things around you and use your danger sense to know when something isn't right, then you can make sure to stay safe and healthy." Another way that schools are keeping their students safe and healthy is allowing hybrid classes where on certain days you will have class in person and other days you will have class virtually. This helps classes have smaller numbers of students and it is a safe option. If a lot of people have the virus in our community, schools may decide to just do virtual learning to keep everyone safe. Use your super attention to spot the places where you can stay safe. Dad looks at Ava and William. "Okay, kids, Lucky is not allowed to sit with us on the plane. They have a special place for dogs on the flight, and he will stay there. So give Lucky a big hug before we give him to the airline personnel." Ava and William give Lucky a big hug, and Dad takes him to the desk. Dad walks back over and says, "Now, let's head to the security check." Ava and William's parents begin their security check process. The security guards ask to see their ID and for them to pull down their masks so they can match their picture for identification. William looks at Dad and asks, "Why are they making you take off your masks? Isn't that unsafe?" Dad tells him, "Don't worry, William. The security officials will have their masks on the whole time. They just need to be able to make sure your mom and I are who we say we are to be safe. Having a safe airport is really important, so that means some of the same security procedures as before need to be done, even if it means some of the new rules have to be modified." They all get through the security gate and head to the terminal. As they're sitting in the terminal waiting to get on their plane, Ava looks at her parents and says, "What if I get sick because someone is sitting too close or not washing their hands?" "You can give them an extra packet of wipes you have, or give them some hand sanitizer," says Dad. "By doing these things, a new superpower is activated," says Mom, "called super kindness. It means helping people that need it. And right now, everyone needs a little kindness. It is always important to be kind and helpful. And we are all learning the new rules too. Remember all the preparedness lessons you have learned from Lucky. What are some ways you can show your super kindness? After some waiting, the attendants at the gate make an announcement. Hello, everyone. We will be letting people on the plane differently today, and it may take us a little longer, but we want to make sure to stay safe. That is good to hear, says Ava. That's true, Ava, says Dad. Make sure you both use your super listening so you can listen for when it is our turn and follow the flight attendant's directions for boarding. When their family is called to board, they get on the plane and head to their seats. Next to each of their seats are disinfectant wipes and little bottles of hand sanitizer. Remember to use hand sanitizer and wipe down your seats, armrests, and trays with the disinfectant wipes before sitting down, says Dad. William and Ava follow their dad's directions, and William says, I am glad they gave us this stuff to clean the seats and disinfect our hands. After everyone has successfully boarded the plane and sits down in their seats, the plane takes off and they head to Grandma's house. Ava and William brought some fun activities to keep them occupied on the plane. Write what you see in the spaces below. After a long plane ride, they finally land. They all get off the plane and head to get their suitcases. Mom and Dad stop them before getting to baggage claim, and Dad says, We saved some unopened wipes from the plane. Make sure to wipe down the handles of your suitcase before picking it up. They each grab a wipe. I see my bag, says William. And there's mine, says Ava. They wipe down the handles and grab them. Great, says Dad. Wait here with Mom and I will go get Lucky. A few minutes later, Dad and Lucky are back, and Lucky says, What a relaxing flight. I slept the whole time. Were you guys able to finish your activity books? Yes, Ava and William say together. Now that they have picked up everything, it is time to get in the car. They get all of their things into the car and pile in. Since there were restrictions on traveling, they were not able to see their family, so they are all very excited to see Grandma. When they finally arrive, Ava and William grab their suitcases and see Grandma smiling at them from the porch. Grandma! Ava and William say together. Hello, kids, says Grandma excitedly. I have been looking forward to your arrival. Ava and William try to give their grandma a hug, but Lucky stops them and says, I know you are very happy to see your grandma, but you still have to keep a safe distance and wash your hands now that you are here. It is the best way to keep everyone safe. They look sad, but Grandma says, It's okay, kids. We're gonna eat dinner and watch the baseball game tonight. It will be a lot of fun. Ava and William need help remembering the steps for washing their hands. Write the 5 steps here to help them remember. After they finish eating, they all sit down to watch the baseball game. Ava and William get their laptops and start working on their virtual homework that is due on Monday. Why did no one show up to the game? Asks Ava. Dad looks at her and says, Right now, we still have to follow the rules of social distancing, so that means you can't have big crowds at any sports games. It must be weird playing with no one cheering them on, says William. You're probably right, William, Grandma replies, but they understand that it is what's best to keep everyone safe. And it is still fun to cheer on our team while we are sitting at home, isn't it?
Ball!
Today was a long day, says Ava, and it made me a little nervous, but I'm very glad I used my super kindness to help other people. I am glad I used my super attention and danger sense to help me stay in safe areas, William adds. Lucky walks up next to the bed and says, "Let's thank all the coaches, airport employees, and essential workers who helped us today." "Thank you!" yell Ava and William. Lucky's lessons. Number 1. When stores, sports events, and travel all start to open back up, it is important to remember all the new rules like hand washing, social distancing, disinfecting surfaces, and wearing masks. Number 2. Using your super kindness means helping people. You can use your super kindness by giving someone a compliment or even sharing your hand sanitizer with them when they need some. Number 3. Social distancing means staying 6 feet away from everybody who does not live in your house. Number 4. Make sure to use the 5 steps when washing your hands. Wet hands, get soap, scrub for 20 seconds, rinse soap with water, and dry hands with a clean towel. Number 5. It is our job to pay super attention to the rules and remind everyone to learn them too. Lucky's new words. Social distance. Staying 6 feet away from people while you're out in public to keep the virus from spreading. Restrictions. Setting limits on people, places, or things. Lockdown. A time period where people aren't allowed to leave their homes unless for essential purposes to prevent the spread of the disease. Kindness. Doing good things to bring happiness to others. Disinfect. Cleaning things that might have germs. Identification. Information about yourself that is specific to you.